Hey guys, it's CWillyHD here, and welcome back to Game Breakers. Today we're taking a look at glitches in the brand new Pokemon Legends Arceus. I've been having a lot of fun with this game over the past few weeks, and luckily there's a bunch of crazy glitches for it. Everything from super speed, getting out of bounds, flying Snorlax, and more. They're all fairly easy to do, so let's get into it. So let's kick this off with a super easy but neat glitch you can do. Climbing up a tree way higher than you're supposed to. The tree in question is very close to the beginning of Coronet Highlands. Just outside the Highlands camp, you'll find a tree hanging out near this rock. I'm not sure if you guys will see the person standing here as I'm at a point later in the story, but it's not a hard tree to spot either way. Anyway, you'll need the Sneasler Flute Pokemon in order to scale it. So swap to them, and for some reason they made this tree's collisions way taller than it should have been, because you can get all the way up here, leaving us with plenty of room for climbing on air. You can hang out up here while just chilling inside of Sneasler, however if you try and stand up on here on your own, you'll plummet back down. I did get lucky one time with Bravaria and just fell on top of the tree itself, and I was able to throw Pokeballs and take in the view. The fact that there's a lot of climbable trees throughout the game means that this mistake is likely to happen in other areas as well. And possibly a tree exists out there with a collision that's way too short, and maybe these two swapped or something accidentally. Either way, a simple one to start us off, but it's probably the easiest as well. Next up is one of my personal favorites, Hyperspeed. Using cliffs, we can upgrade our speed and fly around the world. We're able to do this in pretty much any area throughout the game, but let's start off in Obsidian Fieldlands. Fly over to the Heights camp, and just up ahead is this spot, a Geodude hanging out next to a small, steep cliff. So normally when you try and climb a cliff that's too steep, you'll slide back down. Well, while this falling animation is happening, we need to get hit by a Pokemon. By combining the two animations where your character is thrown backwards, you create this glitch effect where your movement is skewed, and your speed is also increased. Your character won't look in the direction they're running some of the time, and if you try and dive, you simply stay in place. The main focus of this glitch is the speed though. Running around can give you some insane speed. It's kinda inconsistent though, so one second you'll be zooming around corners, and the next you'll be back to just the regular walking speed. It's a tad difficult to control, but it's a lot of fun to run around. Another word of advice, the glitch seems to get corrected if you take damage from a Pokemon or fall off a cliff. The animation itself interrupts the glitch and cancels it, from what I can tell. You can still fast travel while keeping the glitch active, so you have some freedom there, but once you hit a load zone like heading back to Jubilife Village, the glitch will end. But that's okay, because this glitch is possible in other areas as well as climbing cliffs. Coronet Highlands is where we'll be heading as it has plenty of steep slopes. I'm using this area below the Celestia Ruin with the Alpha Gibbite. You can also get this glitch in one of two ways that I didn't mention earlier. You can take damage, or just fall back onto the Pokemon. Either way, the animations will overlap and trigger this glitch. Not only that, but this skewed angle we have also ignores slopes, allowing us to just fly up them like they're flat ground. This alone could be a good strat for speedrunners as you don't need Sneasler to climb up steep slopes. They can still be buggy, giving you the stutter animation that will correct the glitch, but if you pay attention to the cracks in the cliff, you can get around a lot faster. So overall, this is a very useful movement glitch and can be done pretty much anywhere you can slide off and get hit by a Pokemon at the same time. Moving on to a fun one, Flying Snorlax. In Obsidian Fieldlands, just below Lake Verity, an Alpha Snorlax wanders around near the water. While he does look comfortable standing here on the ground, let's throw him 30 feet into the air. We need to use this little cliff here with the high horsepower attack where he just throws his body at you. Guide him down along the riverbank, and as he's charging up another launch, drop down below the cliff near the left side. There's a broken corner against the cliff here that we need to wedge the Snorlax into. You'll know if you got it if he stays in the animation longer than usual, or he has a sparkle effect on him like this. This means you got him in there, so now you just have to have him lunge one more time, and as he's doing that, walk down the path towards the water, which will cause Snorlax to fly off into the air with some insane speed on him. He's now stuck all the way up here, just hanging out. I never really thought I'd see the day where I'd see a floating Snorlax, but here we are. You can still interact with him by throwing balls and whatnot, but he stayed locked onto me, so I wasn't really able to catch him. I tried getting into a battle with him, but the game wouldn't let me. So all that was left to do now was float in front of his face. He'll stay up here as long as you want him to, but if you walk too far away, he'll snap back down to the ground. Going back to the setup and reasoning for this glitch, I guess this corner locks Snorlax in place for a moment and stores his speed. So as you walk further left, he unleashes it all at once, sending him all the way up here. A funny glitch with one of my personal favorite first-gen Pokemon, and seeing such a large boy up there is really a sight to see. Bouncy Grass, Bouncy Grass. Moving on, we got... oh dear. So this point in Obsidian Fieldlands, the worn bridge, has buggy collision, allowing us to throw Pokemon inside the wall. Down in this corner, you kinda just wanna have to hold your Pokeball out and wait for the little icon to pop up in your crosshair. And voila! wall Pokemon. Depending on the size or where the game decides to place them inside the rock, the Pokemon will either be half sticking out of the wall, and sometimes not at all. You can make yourself look like an absolute lunatic and speak with the wall, or climb on them with Sneasler. There's not a lot you can do with this, and we sadly cannot join them out of bounds. I wish there was a way to get out of bounds, but sadly there's not a glitch for it yet. I lied. We can get out of bounds and explore pretty much the entire map. All we need is some water. Big shout out to AlphaRad who posted the initial bug on Twitter. I used this as sort of a starting point to do this glitch, and I kind of found this myself, I think. So the setup is pretty simple. Find a body of water, and we need to get as high up in the air as we can as we're going to be jumping into it. I'm not sure if there's a certain speed you actually have to be going, but I played it safe and got all the way up here. Now simply jump off the cliff and hold any direction on your controller while you're falling. Just before you hit the water, press minus to bring up your map. We want to fast travel to a place with a sloped surface. So for example, in Obsidian Fieldlands, the Fieldlands camp. When you load in, your character will fall through the floor and out of bounds. Quickly pull out Braveberry to stop yourself, and boom, you're now completely out of bounds, free to explore pretty much anywhere you want. The ground becomes see-through, and you can see a bunch of jagged walls that you were never supposed to see. The tall grass and Pokemon are still visible down here, which looks pretty neat, and since we're below the water level, it just vanishes so we can see deep into lakes and rivers. The walls still behave like normal down here, so you can use Sneasler to crawl around them and get some pretty funny looking angles. It's also worth noting that you can't get back in bounds as a collision blocks you, so you won't have to worry about clipping back in. Going back to why this glitch happens, your character still moves while transitioning during a fast travel. You can see here just before I take damage, and then when it transitions, I'm on the ground and kneeling over like I took damage. Something to do with the game trying to place us in water with all the speed that we have right now, just as we warp to the sloped surface will cause us to simply slip through and out of bounds. With that in mind, Alabaster Icelands is another great area we can do this glitch in, as the Ice Peak Arena has a really good slope. I just jumped off of the waterfall and warped there right before I landed. I clipped out of bounds again and was able to enjoy some really cool views. I could see underneath the Snow Point Temple, as well as the caves that this area has. There will be these large boxes that you can just pass through, and you can stand on the roofs of the caves themselves. Since I could actually stand here, I was able to get into a battle. The Pokemon sadly doesn't spawn down here with you, so you're just watching from this angle. Not too exciting. Anyway, there's a lot to explore with this glitch, as you can pretty much get anywhere you want and can be done in almost all the areas of the game. As long as there's water and a sloped surface you can teleport to, the glitch should be possible. This is probably one of the only glitches you don't want to encounter throughout the game, but it happened to me a couple times throughout playing. As you probably already know, you can roam around while in a fight, so it is possible to go too far away from a battle and cause them to end. However, there are times when the game will force this message to show even if you're right next to the action. Some cliffs around the world are a little buggy, so just by standing on them, it'll treat you as too far away and kick you out of the fight. This was just one of the places I encountered the glitch, but I know it's possible in other areas as I've seen it myself. Could be a really annoying bug if you find a shiny or an alpha especially. I'm not really sure if this next one was a glitch, but it doesn't really seem like it was intentional either. Normally when you switch out a Pokemon, you'll get a nice animation of them coming out of the ball. With some of the larger Pokemon like my Alpha Dusknoir, this animation is a little strange as nothing's there. You can see the sparkles from the ball opening, but not the Dusknoir itself. My best guess is the Pokemon is either too big or too close to the camera during the animation, so it just blocks it out and goes transparent. But I feel like with some Pokemon, such as this Alpha Rapidash, are way bigger and actually show up totally fine. I'm not sure of all the Pokemon this happens with, but obviously my Alpha Dusknoir is one of them. Well, this is a thing. Full transparency, I was already in the middle of editing this video when I came across this glitch, but I had to include it, because I've never seen a glitch like this before in my life. Shout out to OnionMU who posted this clip of it on Twitter, but it's a very easy glitch to do. At the Pearl Settlement in Alabaster Icelands, walk through the little town until you reach Arita. I'm probably gonna get comments about how I pronounce that, but you don't have to talk to her or anything. All we gotta do is run around in circles. That's it. You may not see the effects of the glitch right away, but if you pay attention to the NPCs in the background, you'll start to see what's going on here after a couple more laps. For some reason, us walking around her causes, and I quote from Onion, the universe to explode. Something on the back of the NPC's model will just keep getting bigger and bigger. This will continue until they become these massive blocks taking up the entire screen, and blocking out the dang sun. Unfortunately, you can't keep this glitch active for too long, as once you move away from Arita, or move the camera too far away from the actual people, they'll snap back to normal. So obviously not a lot of use out of this, but just the glitch as a whole is so weird to me. Just running in circles to get this monstrosity. So, that's why I shoved it in here last minute. But, as I already spoiled, this is the last glitch we had, so now back to you a few days ago, me. So, As you can see, there are some fun glitches in Pokemon Legends Arceus. Since the game did just come out recently, there's not too many glitches found yet, but hey, there are some good ones to start off with. If myself or other people find more glitches for this game, I'll be sure to cover them. I'm really hoping for something like an item or Pokemon duplication, but we'll see. But for now, I'm gonna get up out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, see ya!